Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Eric. Other questions for Eric or Carrie? Yeah, over to you. Jeff Diehl? Yeah. Hi, Jeff Diehl from Rhode Island Infrastructure Bank. Thank you again for the presentation. It was quite informative. Question about, talk a lot about efficiency and renewables, which obviously are strong here in Rhode Island and, moving forward. You had a little bit in your presentation about the impact of, further electrification of the heating sector, buildings, and transportation on overall demand. But how do you view the impact of that further electrification on the demand cycle? While you talk a lot about efficiency and renewables coming in and impacting certainly intraday demand, how is that further increase in the need for power going to, at least electric power, going to impact peak demand during the day and balancing that between renewables and other sources?
It's a great question. And in the current year, we've developed our first forecast of electric vehicles, light-duty electric vehicles, and heating in the form of air source heat pumps, gathering data from around the New England states. And we put together a 10-year forecast. It's a first cut at this, and we'll update it every year. But over time, we expect that the load, which has been flattened because of energy efficiency and solar, is actually going to increase because you're going to have more electrification on the system. It's going to take probably a couple of planning cycles for us to get really good data about that. And I think you just have to ask in any given audience how many people are driving an electric vehicle today, and you get a couple of hands. It's going to start showing up significantly when you see lots of hands in every audience. So it is something that we're starting to forecast. I expect the energy efficiency investments will continue for several years because it's such a priority for the states. And solar, as Carrie showed, is continuing to grow at a very steady pace. So I think the long-term outlook will be essentially flat with the energy use, but electrification for heating and transportation will change that, and we're going to start to go up probably in the time frame beyond the 7 to 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think certainly as you said, the efficiency and that transformation of transportation and heating/buildings is perhaps going to balance out. But I do see, one of the important things is how is it going to impact demand during the day, and therefore, what the distribution transmission needs to take into account when we look at those impacts on daily peak loads.
Jeff, one of the factors is probably going to relate to the price signal to the end use customer, the retail customer, which is outside of what the ISO does, but certainly is within the jurisdiction of the PUC and the state, giving customers who might have an electric vehicle an incentive to charge at a time that makes the most sense for that system. If everybody's plugging in their vehicle at the time that the system's peaking, that's probably the worst outcome. And initially, this will be a challenge on the distribution system. And I know that the folks at National Grid are thinking about deployment of charging infrastructure for that. At some point, we will see it on the transmission network, the aggregate impact. But a lot of this work initially, I think, will fall within the area of planning for the local distribution companies. And Carrie, I think you might have a...
Yeah. I see Terry shaking his head.
And I would add that we are working, the ISO's forecasting team works directly with the state OER to figure out what the policies that the states are doing, so that in Maine and Connecticut and Rhode Island, we share our forecast assumptions. We share what we're doing as we work through the steps to make sure that we're appropriately capturing state policies and updating the forecast every year as those state policies change. So it's a really collaborative process each year, and we want to make sure that it's transparent and that the states have input and feedback on that.
Great, thank you.